Good morning, everyone. Ryan here with PK Adventures for our last port day. And you're probably hearing all that ruckus behind me. We are in British Columbia today. And we are right by the helicopter airport. And also on this side, there are lots of seaplanes that are taking off. So we'll try to capture some of that footage just so you can see it in action.
Wow, that was loud.
Yeah. All right, now that the ruckus is all gone, we actually have several hours. Our excursion was pushed back. It was supposed to be 8 o'clock in the morning for our whale watching tour, but it got pushed to 2 p.m. So we are going to wander around the port a little bit this morning, and then we are going to hit our whale watching tour this afternoon.
Oh, and I did forget to let everybody know that CJ and Kristine are also doing a separate excursion in this port called Bites and Sights, where they walk around the town and learn its history, as well as taste several different local cuisine dishes. So make sure you're watching for that part of the episode where we have a dueling excursions. Who's going to have the better experience, whale watching or Bites and Sights? You're going to have to stay tuned.
All right, we're here on the pool deck in the Windjammer having a quick breakfast. And looking out, we actually have some really, really nice mountain ranges that we're seeing, still with some snow-capped peaks here as well. So very, very beautiful scenery. But this morning we have a little mix of some protein and some sweets. Here is my breakfast. Alaskan flatbread with a little cinnamon sugar, eggs, bacon, potatoes, sausage and gravy, and a little snacky snack. And then here's Mel's this morning, big old French toast, omelet, bacon, and some cold oats. And of course she's going to get her coffee. And we're getting our freshly squeezed orange juice to wash it all down. Right now we're still trying to figure out what to do. There's a Fisherman's Wharf on the other side of this little peninsula, but that doesn't open till 11. There is a park, a big park, but it's about 1.5 miles down the road. I was looking, it doesn't seem like there's Uber available here. So we might see if there's some public transit to take us down there, or there's a bike rental place here too. Maybe we'll rent some bikes for this morning to bike around the town a little bit. I don't know. It's still kind of up in the air right now. I know we need to be back by about 1 o'clock so we can get all of our camera equipment and gear to take with us on the whale watching. So once we figure out what we're doing this morning, trust me, we'll get back with you. So we are off the ship, and Mel almost got put in the naughty room.
I was good.
Ooh, what did you do?
Try to take coffee off.
How dare she try to take coffee off? Doesn't she know that it will destroy the environment?
So I had to chug it like a beer. Now I'm like, now I'm like a sugar rush.
She's got a buzz for a caramel iced macchiato.
Yeah. I'm not gonna let that thing go to waste.
No, definitely not. All right. So we still have no clue what we're doing yet. We're just gonna kind of wing our morning.
Getting our steps up.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. Welcome to Victoria, Canada. All right, so we decided we're just gonna walk. We hung a left outside of the port, and we're starting to head in the direction of Fisherman's Wharf.
It's a 30-minute walk.
So to Fisherman's Wharf, it's only about a 10-minute walk. And to walk to downtown and Beacon Hill Park, that's about a half an hour walk.
We'll see how we feel. But it beats being crammed in a bus with a bunch of people.
Yep.
So if you wanted some fresh air and get your steps in, this is the way to go. It's not a bad walk. There's a sidewalk right next to a busy street, but at least you're on the sidewalk.
Very pretty parkway. I always love the covered street look. All right, we have made it to Fisherman's Wharf. So there are lots of little shops here. We're gonna go ahead and head on down, see what there is to see.
Restaurants.
All right, let's go ahead and walk on down and actually get into the wharf. So it looks like this is a mixture here in Fisherman's Wharf of restaurants, a couple of shops, looks like excursion gathering points, and floating homes.
It's a floating dock, is basically what this is.
Yep. Over past those gates are the commercial fishermen and private docks. So technically these are all private houseboats here, or floating homes, since they technically do not have mobility from what I'm seeing here. And here we are at the end of the dock. All right, time to figure out our next adventure. Yeah, we're just taking a stroll towards the downtown area. So we found a nice little park area and a beautiful building. It's not labeled, but the best that we could guess is that this is the legislative building because they have a legislative official fountain. And so that's what we're assuming, is this is some sort of governmental legislative building, but it is beautiful. Take a look. All right, so that is Parliament. For some weird reason, it wasn't listed on Google Maps, but the paper map we had it. So Victoria, British Columbia, Parliament House. So now to get motivated, we found our favorite coffee. And for the record, I discovered this coffee when I went to...
Hold on, sidetrack, squirrel.
Hang on, squirrel.
Look at this tree.
That guy's humongous.
It is so
Look at this, guys.
pretty.
That's a thick trunk. All right, squirrel moment over. So yeah, so I discovered
Okay, tree was
this brand of coffee when I went to Ottawa when I was with the Dunedin Pipe Band, and we went up there for the North American Championships. It was right beside the place we were staying. But Tim Hortons has just unbelievable coffee. It's very, very good. And their donuts are not too shabby either.
fancy.
The Empress, right on the water.
It's very bike friendly here. There's dogs everywhere. It's clean, feel safe. So it's a nice leisurely walk.
Yeah. There's Spirit of Victoria shop.
I might have to go over there. I'm a sucker for a good t-shirt.
Mel did take a detour into the Irish store. Man, we're smelling something delicious. I don't know if it's the Dutch bakery behind us, or if it is Tim Hortons, the Dunkin' Donuts of Canada. Oh yeah. And there it is, the Canadian Maple Specialty Donut. Totally grabbing one of those. All right, we have our hazelnut iced coffee with cold foam. And then our apple fritter and Canadian maple glazed donut. Yum, 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 yum. So we're here in the Cool as a Moose shop. That's moose oriented. So it looks like just a closed store with a little bit of trinkets here and there. Cool little orca shrubbery. Here's a better shot of the orca tapestries. Or not tapestries, whatever the heck they're called. No trip to Canada would be complete without finding a bagpiper. Very prevalent in this society. Love it. All right, we are headed back to the ship after a leisurely walk here in downtown British Columbia. There are multiple modes of transportation if you don't want to walk it, because it is a fairly lengthy walk, but flat. All of it seems to be very regulated as far as pricing goes. So it seems to be basically $15 one way from the port to downtown. And that seems to be anything, whether it's a bus, whether it's a taxi. I actually checked for Uber, and there are no Ubers in this area, so they must have it on lockdown to regulate the cost.
Cabs.
So you have, yeah, like Mel said, there are cabs, there's public bus transportation, there are little water taxis, and pretty much everything seems to be $15.
What this was all about here.
Maybe it was an old garden that just got overgrown.
Next we can go right there, I think.
Nice open little park, lots of green. All right, we're back inside the port, making the last stroll to our ship. Mel made a good observation about this port. What did you say, babe?
There's only one shop to go in and out of. It's very industrial. So it's not like most ports where they man-made a bunch of series shops. So you're definitely going to have to walk if you want to actually explore the city. Or rent a bike, or take a cab, whatever you feel at the moment. But yeah, it's very industrial.
All right, we are here for our Orca Whale Watching tour. This one is a Royal Caribbean sponsored tour, thank goodness, because it's much later in the day than I would have wanted to do something independently. Plus, it's supposed to be back only about a half an hour before sail away. So if there's any delays, we are on a Royal Caribbean sponsored, which means they will hold the ship for us. But we are doing whale watching. Orca Spirit Adventures is the operator. All right, we are on the boat, heading out to hopefully see some whales.
Once a property is designated a heritage building, they cannot change the outside of it ever again. This place right here is 133 years old.
Just outside the naval base which is adjacent to the Coast Guard base. Two different things, is this amazing architecture here. I would not want to be the window washer in that building though.
No, definitely not.
This is a condominium here, and there is tons of these here. You're gonna see them here. When we get out onto the water, you're gonna see them all down the bank sides everywhere. They are very expensive. So, you know, I was kind of chuckling when you were saying that you paid almost nothing for that home, right? And somebody said 300,000 gets you like the top shelf. Wow. These here run at about $1,000 a square foot. So this unit here, that would be about 1,200 square feet. That's $1.2 million. That is the going price everywhere. An entry-level home in this city right here, I mean a starter home, a fixer-upper, that would be 1.4 million. Right?
It is minute 30 of our trip, and we are still on the way to find whales. Supposedly an hour ahead was where they saw some animals, so we are still going. Yeah, I'm coming back now.
So we're going to go to this little place, and I wish every one of your communities had one of these. This is called the Imagine Cafe, and the lady and her husband, her name's Dorothy, and her husband used to have a restaurant in town here, and they did very, very well at it. But in the downtown core, just off to the side, like a lot of your communities, there is an area where you got a lot of people that have drug issues and mental issues, right? And she saw that, and she said, well, you know, a lot of them are First Nations people as well. So I want to try to help them somehow. So she sold her restaurant. She opened up this one. It's called, it's a cafe, not a full-on restaurant. And she made it a non-profit. And her whole purpose is to catch kids just before they hit the skid, right? They're just about ready to hit the drug scene. And she scoops them up and she brings them here and she teaches them how to run a till, how to clean, how to cook, how to make coffee, how to look after people. So over the course of a few years, she has saved thousands of kids.
Oh, that's really nice.
And she makes sure they get a good path afterwards. Her and the husband can do that all together.
Cute little spot.
Yeah, it is. So we are having ban, which is a dough that traditionally by the First Nations was dipped in deer fat and then roasted over fire. In the modern version here, this dough has just been glazed and has fresh berries on it, since it's a little frowned upon to kill a deer every morning just to use its fat to make your pastries.
Still nothing. We're still on the hunt.
Takes one to know one, man.
Welcome on board, folks.
Thanks.
A bit smaller than the boat you're used to, I bet.
Not really. It's not that much smaller.
Ooh-wee.
It's not a cruise ship.
Well, yeah, but it's not that much bigger than our friend's pontoon either.
Yeah.
The water is gorgeous.
and they teach you how to drive it. The last thing you want is a stranger in your hot tub with you, right? And then they take off up what's called the gorge here. This goes up about 5 miles, and it gets narrow, and there's beautiful homes all along each side of the bay. This street is actually recognized as a street in Canada. It's recognized as the most narrow street in all of North America. The reason that the street is so narrow on each end is because when the Chinese were in there in the center doing all those things, if the police came, they could only get in a single file, and it gave them time to scurry. So the little alleys, you won't see them all there today, but the little alleys where they would shoot out and they could get away from the police. This store here was recognized as where the opium all came into. It's interesting, and you notice it's a half. It's because the store itself is 23 and the residence 23 and a half.
Well, supposedly we are in the area where the orcas were sighted earlier today, and now it's a waiting game to see if we can actually see them. I hope so. And I hope this hour and a half ride out here is not a bust.
Exactly.
There they are. That was crap. I'm glad we got the one in Juneau. Well, we are back. And unfortunately, this tour, in the grand scheme of things, was the bust. Yes, technically we saw orca, but we saw orca for 60 seconds total, maybe.
I got to see eagle on my whale tour.
Yep. But, you know, nature doesn't always cooperate with you, so we had super successful whale watching in Juneau, so I'm super glad that that worked out. Yeah, because we only had a few seconds worth of orcas today here in British Columbia. But overall, still a fun day. We got to walk around the town for a little bit. We did get to have some salty sea air. So, all in all, good day. And since we're on a Royal-sponsored cruise ship, they would have held it for us.
Yeah,
But luckily we made it back with 8 minutes to spare before the all on board.
exactly. 8 minutes.
And of course, no day is complete without making a trip to the Sweet Lounge to see KK and Carlson. Hello. I think there's only one day that we missed because of how late our excursion came back. Other than that, though, we try to make daily appearances in either the Crown Lounge if we are not in a suite, or the Sweet Lounge to say hi to the concierges there. And this will be our last night, so we definitely want to thank them for being such wonderful hosts and hostesses on our cruise. So let's head into the Sweet Lounge for our nightly nightcap and hors d'oeuvres before we head to the magnificent chops for dinner. It does smell good in here today. There's the man, the myth, the legend. How are you doing today, Carl?
Good. Have a seat, please.
We will. And just a little candy for you if you want it.
Thank you, my brother.
Just to have some snacky snacks. All right, let's take a look at what our last hors d'oeuvre run is. Chocolate covered strawberries, Little mini chocolate brownies. Ooh, little mini key lime pies. Man, they pulled out all the bells and whistles here. Salmon and cucumber mousse, garlic herb juice. We've got some vegetable spring rolls, lamb meatballs, spicy shrimp, chicken 65. Holy moly.
All right, we are here in Chops for our last meal, if you will, the last supper. And we are all gonna have our steaks. I mean, that's what you get when you come to Chops. They're known for their fillets.
Maybe.
If you like truffles, the truffle fries are really good as well. They basically fry them up in truffle oil and then drizzle a little bit on it. I know Kristine usually likes that a lot. Colossal shrimp, it's fabulous. Big old like 2-bite shrimps. And then the black peppered bacon, I always get it extra saucy, but it's like a very thick piece of bacon that they, as long as they cook it right, which 90% of the time it's cooked right, it melts in your mouth. They reduce it and it just melts in your mouth with a little barbecue sauce on it. It's very, very good. So, what'd you think of your Alaskan cruise there, sweet stuff?
Good. Good. Cool. Super cool.
You guys know by now she's a woman of few words.
Cool. That's reservoir.
We got 3 words out of her.
Home.
All right, we shall be back once we get to our meals. So you can. Oh wait. She's telling me to come back now.
I'm already planning our next Alaskan cruise.
Oh, okay. It was cool. All right, wait.
And just a reminder, people, I am a travel agent. So if you need some help booking, somebody's going to link some contact information right here.
That I will. Ah, yes, the black peppered bacon. And Mel said it has been made superbly. It's like butter, people, like butter. So, Melis, tell us about this one. Thank you very much, sir.
It is goat cheese, lettuce, walnuts, and apple slices. I forgot what the dressing was, though.
And then I have the colossal shrimp cocktail. And my apologies, everyone. I got so excited when my steak got here, I cut into it without giving you a beautiful representation. So you're going to see a diced representation here. But if you like steak, you have got to come to Chops. It's on level with Ruth Chris and Burns. And only a fraction of the cost. And I have the red wine reduction. They also have a Bernaise, and they have a peppercorn if you like some added flavors. But the steak itself is good even without any of the added seasoning, which is always a good mark of a well-done steak. And by well done, I mean properly prepared, not well done, kill it. That's Kristine's motto. So my dad has the key lime catamaran. My lovely wife has strawberry
ice cream.
And then my mom and I both have the red velvet cake. Bon appetit dessert. Well, everyone, there comes a time on every cruise that you love to hate. What day is that, babe?
Packing.
Yep. It's the day where you have to reassemble all of your crap, every nook and cranny, and repack everything. Generally, we do self-embark and just carry our luggage off. But that's usually when we're going out of a port in Florida, because we drive to those ports. So we just, tear out of here first thing in the morning, hop on our car and get driving and get back home. That's how we actually can do a lot of our weekend cruises and things like that. And we just have a late start to a Monday, but we really don't have to miss an entire Monday. This one, since we're flying, I know Mel and I have decided to put our luggage out the night before and just let them haul it off for us. So tomorrow morning.
If you guys do self-embark, or if you like to put your luggage out.
So hopefully you heard that. If you didn't hear it, Mel said comment below on if you like to do self-assist when you get off the ship, or if you like to have them take your luggage off for you. So comment below, and let's see who wins. And yes, why? So you guys heard our why. That's because we live in Florida. We get in our car, we go home. You know, if we're in Tampa, then we're home in an hour. If we're in Port Canaveral, we're home in about 3 hours. You know, 4 hours out of Lauderdale or Miami. That's pushing it, more like 5 hours, but still. We like to do self-disembark when we're in Florida ports because of that. But since we have to fly and our flight's not until 9 o'clock tomorrow, and that's 9 p.m., we have the red-eye flight. We're not in any rush, so we're just going to let them take it all out. Here's a hint, though. If you let them take your suitcase, make sure you leave yourself clothes for the next morning. Very important.
Or to be buying a nice Caribbean robe from your stateroom.
Yes. We have not done it, but we have absolutely seen people who have had to leave the next morning with a bathrobe because they packed all of their clothes. So make sure you leave yourself a little something to wear off the ship in the morning. Anyway, we're not going to bore you with our packing, so we'll just say thank you so much for watching this episode. If we do anything cool tonight, we'll bring it to you. But in all honesty, we are probably just going to be packing and relaxing. So, again, thanks so much for stopping by. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and notify. It doesn't cost you anything, and it truly does help the channel. So just take that extra half second to click that subscribe button. We'll see you next time on the Scenic Route, folks. Good night.